Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Today is Friday, September 22nd, and welcome into another episode of HHS In Depth. Let's begin with a quick overview of today's show. Owen Kruger kicks it off with a report on the Spartan Alliance Band's annual fundraiser at the Johnny Appleseed Festival. Next comes Morgan Gallette's look into how teachers use time before school in the morning to get ready for the day. You'll hear from Jaron Ellis on why some students are getting to school earlier and earlier each day and the reason why they're parking over an hour before first period even starts. Later on, Grace Dickmeyer tells you about a new sweet treats shop that more and more Homestead kids are using for a place to hang out after school. All of that, plus Cameron Elder hosts an all-new Behind the Curtain. Taylor Ham reports on the next week of weather, and Hunter Wise wraps up the show with a report on Homestead athletics in Down to the Wire. Stick around, this is HHS In Depth. Hello and thank you for joining us today. This is HHS In Depth. I'm Ryan Weidler.
And I'm Carly Sweimeller. And Ryan, with the cooler start to the week, I'm getting excited for the first day of fall, which is already tomorrow.
That's right. And now is Taylor Ham to tell us if it will feel fall-like at tonight's football game at home.
Well, Ryan, tonight will be partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-70s. After sunset, though, expect it to drop into the 60s, so be sure to bring a sweatshirt. I'll be back with the full weather report a little later on the show. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for filling us in, Taylor. With the conditions outside tonight, I'm looking forward to the football game.
I agree, Ryan. Taylor will be back later to give us another look into the weather.
HHS In Depth, national news.
And now, let's shift into our focus of the national headlines. In recent national news, a missing Marine Corps fighter jet was located on Monday in South Carolina. But how did an $80 million jet go missing in the first place? The pilot ejected because of a mishap and left the jet on autopilot. We have no word yet on what exactly was the mishap. In not so magical news, a bear was captured after being found in Magic Kingdom Park, located in Disney World. The bear was found hiding in the trees of the park. Florida Wildlife Corridor says that the adult female bear was chemically immobilized so that the staff could safely capture her before relocation. The bear was safely released into a Florida State Reserve. Disney was able to reopen Frontierland, Liberty Square, and Adventureland at the Magic Kingdom after consulting with state experts.
Thank you, Carly, for the national news update. Let's switch gears to what's going on back here at Homestead. Each September, a lot of Northeast Indiana residents get excited for another Johnny Appleseed Festival. And one of the biggest reasons why are the chicken and dumplings, one of the longest running traditions of the festival and a way for the Spartan Alliance Band to raise funds for their program. Here's reporter Owen Kruger with the story.
It's a cool autumn's day here in downtown Fort Wayne as we visit the Homestead Marching Band at the Johnny Appleseed Festival, where they'll be making their famous chicken dumplings. The Spartan Alliance sets up a booth at the festival annually, where they sell their handmade chicken dumplings.
Well, every year we get to make some good food and earn some money for the band so that we don't have to pay as much as students and the parents don't have to pay as much for the program.
We're doing more this year than last year. We sold out yesterday. We're going to sell out again today.
In order to help with the long shifts, each of the members and parents play a role in the process of making the dumplings.
I'm a dough roller here, so that just means that for dumplings, I roll them out, cut them up, put them in a tray, and then let them get cooked for later.
My role has been kind of coordinating the passing of the product from the big pots into the pans and then distributed to the servers who are serving it to the attendees. And, everybody kind of jumps in and helps out wherever they can, and we try and stay coordinated.
Although the main purpose of the festival is to raise money, it also serves as a team bonding experience for the band members.
It's really nice being around all your friends. Time flies by super quick, even though it's super long shifts. You just get to be around a bunch of people that you know super well.
This year has been successful for the Homestead Marching Band. If you couldn't make it out to the festival this year, you can still support them by showing up to any of their competitions later this year. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Owen Kruger.
Thank you for the story, Owen. Stick around. We'll be right back.
As you can see, the parking lot is currently full, but how quickly does it fill up in the mornings? I'll be back later in the show to let you know.
The Spartana has moved. Make sure to check out their next edition on hhsspartana.com.
Tonight, the Spartans battled out against the Snyder Panthers in an SAC matchup. Catch all the action live on YouTube at Homestead Media. Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Welcome back. The Riley Dance Marathon Club will be selling t-shirts for Red for Riley Night tonight at the football game during all lunches today. Cash, check, and card will be accepted, and the cost is $15 for each t-shirt. All proceeds will go to Riley Children's Hospital. Students and faculty are encouraged to wear the shirts to the Red for Riley football game tonight.
What did you do over the summer? Did you visit any cool places? Have any crazy adventures? The yearbook staff wants to hear about your experience and feature it in this year's yearbook. If you have any unique stories, photos, or experiences to share, please email Mrs. Barrett at the email address shown here.
Juniors and seniors, please see Mrs. Connerly in the 9th grade Academy office to sign up for in-school college visits. There are a number of colleges visiting Homestead between now and the end of October.
Honor Roll recognition will take place Thursday, September 28th. You can check the list posted across from Student Services to see if your name is on the list for earning Honor Roll during the spring semester of the last school year. If you are on the list, you will receive the Honor Roll certificate and a special treat during your lunch period on Thursday, September 28th.
Teachers work hard to make sure their classroom and students are set up for the upcoming school day. HHS In Depth reporter Morgan Gillette is in now to fill us in on how a couple teachers start their day each morning.
Teachers all over Homestead get to school a lot earlier than most students may realize. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to prepare for the upcoming day. Here's a quick look into teachers' morning routines.
I usually get here a little before 7 o'clock, and my morning has already started probably a couple hours before that. So I get here in the morning, I put my stuff away. I keep a running list taped to my desk of all the things that I need to do. But the rest of the morning is spent trying to kind of get my head in the right space for what I need to do on that particular day.
In addition to preparing the classroom, teachers also participate in before-school meetings on occasion to discuss different topics.
Meetings for us start at 7:05. And I usually like to be early to whatever meetings I have. I will come in and kind of put my stuff away as quickly as I can. I'm back maybe a few minutes before I need to let my students into the classroom.
So one of the reasons I get here so early is because the meetings start at 7:05. So I like to have everything prepped in my room before I have to go to my meeting. Some of the meetings are faculty meetings, some of them are department meetings, and then usually we have collaboration meetings.
Depending on the class, different types of labs or setups take time in the morning to prepare for the students.
One of the things that we do is all the lab setup and prep. So sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the evenings, making solutions, setting up all of the lab equipment. That takes a lot of time in science.
Homestead teachers hold themselves to the highest standards to help their students succeed. If you see one of your teachers in the hallway, make sure to thank them for all that they do. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Morgan Gillette.
Thank you for the report, Morgan.
Ryan, is it just me, or is it always a struggle trying to find a parking spot in the morning?
I have the same issue too, and it is so annoying.
Luckily, HHS In Depth reporter Jaron Ellis is in now to tell us why this trend is becoming a problem for many of us as students begin arriving to school earlier each day.
Whether you walk, ride the bus, or carpool to school, there aren't too many advantages to getting to school earlier or later than other students. However, if you drive to school, time management plays an important role. You see, it might only be 6:50 in the morning, almost an hour before school starts, and the parking lot is already becoming occupied by other students. Why though? Rather than waiting in their cars, wouldn't students want to catch up on missed sleep? And the crazy thing is, with each new school year, the arrival time of students becomes progressively earlier. I think it's finally time to figure out why this is the case.
Excuse me, ma'am. I was wondering why you arrived to school so early when there's no one else in the parking lot.
I get to the school so early because it's more convenient, there's less traffic, and there's better parking spaces. Bad driving is definitely the reason I get here so early. I know there's been a few car accidents already this year. Student drivers definitely aren't that great at driving, but they're learning, so that's all that matters.
I get to school early to get good parking. Sometimes I have to leave for work and be there at 3:30, and it takes like a hot minute to get out of the parking lot, so it's really nice to get good parking to get out quicker.
I'd say I arrived at school to get a good parking spot, and then I speed out of school and get out early.
While all these students arrive early to get a good parking spot, how would their day be changed if they were to get a bad one?
The difference is definitely parking spaces and traffic. It's definitely a lot worse if you arrive like around this time because parking spaces are getting full and traffic gets a lot worse.
If I were to leave like 10 minutes later, from this lot right here, it's a lot quicker to get out of. From getting out of the big parking lots, it takes a lot longer to get out of, so it saves me like a good 20 minutes, I'd say.
It's currently 7:10 in the morning and the parking lot is already full, vastly different from years past. Will this trend continue in the future? Only time will tell. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Jaron Ellis.
All right, thank you, Jaron.
As we head to break, be sure to keep an eye out for a club you may enjoy during the rundown. All the clubs meeting at Homestead over the next week.
Stick around, we'll be back shortly.
Some big results happened over the past week in Homestead athletics, and one team already claimed a sectional championship. I'll break it down for you later in Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
We're back on HHS In Depth. And Ryan, the temperatures early in the week felt more like fall than what we've been used to in the past few days.
But with the first official day of fall hitting tomorrow, will we see any cooler temps anytime soon? Weather reporter Taylor Ham is in the studio and ready to fill you in on what next week's weather has to offer.
Thanks, guys. Tonight is going to be partly cloudy with temps in the 70s at kickoff of our game against Snyder tonight. Today's forecast is a precursor into what you can expect this weekend. As for the first official day of fall tomorrow, it looks like summer is going to give us another weekend as we'll have sunny skies and a high of 79, dipping down overnight to a chilly 55 degrees. Sunday will start to cool down with a high of 77, under partly cloudy skies and a drop down to 54 degrees overnight. As for next week, Monday has a high of 73 under cloudy skies. Tuesday is going to be another day in the 70s with mostly cloudy skies. Wednesday will be our first day with a high only reaching to the upper 60s, and it'll look like it'll be our next chance of rain as well. And Thursday will bring us a high of 68 as the sun comes back out for us to enjoy. Looking at the extended forecast, it looks like this is your weekend for your best chance to enjoy the warm weather and sunny skies. So be sure to get outside and enjoy them. Ryan and Carly, back to you.
I'm glad fall hasn't hit us for good quite yet. Thank you for the weather report, Taylor. And now it's time for another segment of Behind the Curtain. Cameron Elder hosts this week to get you caught up on all of our performing arts news.
Welcome to this week's edition of Behind the Curtain. I'm Cameron Elder, and today we're taking you behind the scenes of one of the most successful high school marching bands in the nation with their new show this year, Rhapsodic.
What we're doing is we're taking the performances of iconic Rhapsody. So we start with Bohemian Rhapsody, then we go to Hungarian Rhapsody, and then we end with Rhapsody in Blue.
One of the things we see out of a lot of other bands in our class is that change their entire band uniform to match prop design and colors and different things like that. And we thought this year, since we have a brand new marching band uniform, we thought it would be cool to center around that uniform. If you watch our show this year, a lot of the prop designs are completely geared towards those band uniforms. They match really well. And the overall theme was we really wanted to focus on Rhapsody in Blue. And since blue was the color we were highlighting with the new uniforms, everything centers around that. Even though Rhapsody in Blue is a very small portion of the show, that kind of is our centralized idea, and everything spun off of that.
Along with information about the show, the directors also offered some insight in how they believe the Spartan Alliance Band will do competitively.
We are our main competitor going in and out of every single competition week. You know, if we're doing the right things in rehearsal and getting to where we want to be by Friday night, you know, Saturday is all subjective to what the judges are listening for, how they feel that day, and like what are they targeting, what are other bands doing. But we always need to go ahead and push every single week, every single rehearsal to make sure that we are ending up where we want to be.
When people know that programs have gone through changes, that they maybe assume that things won't be as strong as they were in previous years, but I think one of the things that they will have to expect from us, after they see us, they'll understand the bar hasn't been lowered, and I think they're going to be shocked by what the band's going to put out there when we go against some bands at regionals this year.
The Spartan Alliance Band participated in their first competition 2 weeks ago, taking home first with a full sweep in all categories. Homestead Marching Band will be participating in their next competition tomorrow at Carroll High School. Go out and support the band. Moving on from marching band, due to construction, instead of a fall play, Homestead will be having a cabaret in the Gray Box. If you would like more information on this, make sure to tune in to HHS In Depth next week for a special interview with Mr. Shaw. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Behind the Curtain. Let us know if you want your performing art to be included in the next edition by contacting the email below. Back to you, Ryan and Carly.
Thanks, Cameron. Some students may be looking for a local place to go after school where they can study in a nice environment and have good food. HHS In-Depth reporter Grace Dickmeyer is in now and has just a place for you.
Homestead students have a large workload with challenging courses and lots of homework. If you are looking for a place to study after school, Sassie's Sweets and Coffee Boutique may be the place for you.
The Shorewood shop Sassie's is just one of the bakery's locations and a perfect environment to get good food and study. The bakery is a family-owned business established in 2011 by Krista Young and her family.
We opened our first shop in Waynedale, and then our next one we opened like a couple years later in Broadway, like downtown. Then we just opened this one.
The place is a popular spot for not only families, with its many games and toys, but several Homestead students have found Sassie's to be a perfect study spot.
So I really like coming to Sassie's after school to study because I'm in a lot of hard classes, and it's just kind of a fun environment to do my work. They have really great treats I can enjoy while I'm here. They have good coffee so I can stay energized while I'm doing my work.
Sassie's has a wide range of treats and coffees, all fresh and ready for pickup from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
We have like brownies, cupcakes, cookies, coffee. We just have like espresso coffee.
With a great atmosphere and even greater food, Sassie's Sweets and Coffee Boutique is the place for you. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Grace Dickmeyer.
All right, thank you, Grace. And now it's time for another edition of Down to the Wire. This week, Hunter Wise is in to give a recap on how our Spartan sports teams did over the past week, including a sectional championship for one team.
Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Hunter Wise. Our Spartans were back in action with a packed week for all fall sports teams. Our girls golf team, for the 9th straight season, we can name them sectional champs. Last Friday, the girls dominated the rest of the field by posting a stroke score total of 291. To put that score into perspective, the second place team was 106 strokes off the score posted by Homestead. Individually, all 5 of our girls took the top 5 places in sectionals. Leading the way was Cassidy Ayers, who shot an unbelievable 67. Eliza Saul shot a 70. Scarlett Sank shot a 72. Bree Knoll had an 82, and Dominica Cassini posted an 83. The boys and girls cross-country teams competed in the West Noble Invitational last Saturday. The boys got runner-up out of 33 teams, and 8 of our Spartans placed in the top 35. The girls won the meet with 8 of our Lady Spartans placing in the top 15, and Addison Canabla being the overall champion in the girls' race. Our girls volleyball team traveled down to Lafayette Jeff last Saturday and went 4-0 on the day to win the Invitational. This includes 3 2-0 sweeps over Gearin Catholic, South Newton, and Clinton Prairie before beating Bloomington North 2-1 in the championship game. Although the girls fell to Angola on Monday, Addie Tyndall broke the school record for the most amount of kills with 744 and counting. Congratulations to the girls, and good luck tomorrow as they take a long bus trip to play in the Crown Point Invitational. This past Monday, the girls' soccer team hosted our rivals from up north to Pat Teagarden Field and demolished the Carroll Chargers 6-0, giving the Chargers just their 2nd loss of the season. Leading the way for Homestead by scoring 2 goals apiece were Madison Balfe and Brayley Norris. On Monday, our boys' tennis team played Leo at home and absolutely crushed Leo 5-0 with singles Stephen Meyer and double Alex Graber and Eric G won both their sets 6-1. Congratulations to all sports teams that competed this week. Don't forget, our football team is back in action tonight at home against the Snyder Panthers. Best of luck, and kickoff is at 7 p.m. The theme for tonight's game is Red for Riley. That'll do it for this week's edition of Down to the Wire. Thanks for watching. Ryan, Carly, back to you.
Thank you, Hunter, for the update on our fall sports teams. This has been HHS In Depth. Make sure to check out our socials for updates on the HHS ID team and our upcoming projects.
Don't forget to go out and enjoy the football game and wear red tonight.
Have a great weekend, Homestead, and we'll see you back here again next week.